Mikey Garcia, the former 4-division weight champion at 126, 130, 135, and 140, who has conquered many big names in the sports of boxing with a record of 40-2 with 30 knockouts, is now retiring. Mikey Garcia had an illustrious career, and he was a very handy-handed, equally skilled, at one time ranked up the number 2 on the pound-for-pound list, and we had to bid him goodbye. We have to bid him farewell. Bid him adieu. Garcia, coming off a stunning upset loss to Sandor Martin, just hasn't been the same since he stepped up and dared to be great. Mikey Garcia had an illustrious career of knocking out plenty big names, knocking out over 30 opponents like Juan Manuel Lopez, his biggest rival between him and Gamboa at that lower division. Also, he unanimously defeated Robert Easter Jr., Sergey Lipinets, and Adrian Broner, high-skilled, top-level fighters in their class. So, Mikey Garcia is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. It's crazy how his career is on a downslide, but before the Spence fight, he was on top of the world after finally leaving Top Rank, who had him in a whole bunch of controversy which made him miss the best years of his fighting. After being set free, he started taking on great challenges like a man possessed. But when he fought Spence, that was a little too much. His brother regrets the fact to this day of letting his brother take that much punishment. He regrets that he didn't stop the fight earlier in the 9th round like he chose to, but him and Mikey stuck it out, and they got a moral victory, being the first people to take the then champion, the boogeyman, Errol the True Spence, into a 12-round decision. A moral victory of sorts that seen Mikey Garcia's career go in the downslide while Errol Spence's career took the upturn. And the reason it took an upturn because other welterweights that were scared to fight him, yes, it was other welterweights scared to fight Errol the Truth Spence. They seen that a lightweight coming up can last 12 rounds with Errol Spence, so they thought they could last 12 rounds with Errol Spence, maybe even beat him. So that made it open the door so Spence was no longer the boogeyman, and people started trying him, and they also lost as well. But Mikey Garcia was a trendsetter. And Mikey Garcia, he fought valiantly, but he was just outmatched and overgunned. But the former pound-for-pound star has given us thrilling fights and victories amongst the years. After the Spence fight, he won against Jesse Vargas, but he gifted a win against Jesse Vargas, and then Sandor Martin went ahead and just showed that he still have lingering effects from the punishment he took from the Spence fight. He couldn't hardly talk straight for a couple months after the Spence fight because he took a lot, and I mean a lot, of damage he shouldn't have taken. But that shows you how much of a warrior that Mikey Garcia was. And Mikey Garcia will always be remembered, especially his brother Robert Garcia, who is by far the greatest Mexican trainer out right now, who has Bam Rodriguez and a few other champions at that gym. And Mikey continues to help his brother at the gym at the Garcia Boxing Academy, as well as him, Bernard Hopkins. They're also supporting brain research as well. Shout out Champside. Brain injuries and the lasting effect of brute trauma against it. Because see, people don't realize that as a fighter, they put their bodies in harm's way. And when you get out the ring, that don't mean that the fight is over, because there's lasting effects from being bludgeoned in the head, the body, everywhere. So Mikey at 34, he's at the age where it's time for him to get out, because there's an old man in the boxing game now, even though he's still young, and he can enjoy his flowers while he's still here. In my opinion, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no problem. 4-division champ, and he had the heart of the people. Mikey Garcia, little giant, a champion in his own right. And if he would have jumped up at welterweight and fought anybody else except Spence, it might would have gone a little bit different. But when you fighting the greatest athlete in boxing right now, then there's only one way it's going to turn out. There was also a plan for Mikey to fight legendary 8th division world champion Manny Pacquiao, but that didn't come to fruition. So in the best part of his life, while he still has his health, Mikey, you did great, son. and I wish you farewell and happy retirement.